Hello and welcome to World of Tanks. Silra here bringing you next installment of Noob No More. And this time I want to talk about knowledge. Because knowing is half the battle. The more you know, the better you will do in these battles. And let's start with an important one. You can't win alone. Random matchmaker battles are 15 versus 15, right? Every person in your team provides something towards your victory. That guy who suicided in the first 30 seconds into the enemy base got blown up. You were looking at the minimap, I hope, because if you were looking at the minimap, you can see where the enemies were, the ones he managed to spot, right? And from their movement on the minimap, you can tell which way they are headed, and you can use this knowledge as part of your own play. He provided you with some information. That guy camping in a random location on the map, well, he's at least providing you with the information that there are no enemies right next to him, right near him. At least none that he can see or within 50 meters, because you automatically spot everything which is 50 meters of your tank. And if you, even after this little bit of talk, you still believe that you are the person who always does the heavy lifting, who always contributes the most, you are the carry of the team in MOBA terms or whatever other game terms that is. How about grabbing a few friends, let's say 1 versus 4, equal tier tanks, load into a map of your own choice? How many times do you come on top? You versus 4 others. How about you versus 15 others? Of course that is good, you know, test, but if you really believe that you can always, you know, carry the team, that you are the centerpiece of the action, then prove it by winning at least as many times as your freaking win rate is. If your win rate is 50%, then you should be able to come out on top 1 versus 6, 1 versus 4, at least 50% of the time, right? Let's move on to strategy, because if you don't talk about strategy in the beginning of the battle, then don't expect people to actually follow you around either. Strategy can be as simple as let's take hill. It is a strategy, it might not win you the game, but it is a strategy. And going on with that, there is no do X and win. I see this all the time and it's just not true. You don't win by taking hill or going into XYZ coordinates on the map. Because game is so old by now that if you would win on Himmelsdorf as an example by going on the hill, you would have all 30 tanks trying to take the hill because that's how you win. And that's just not the case. If you believe that you must do X and you win, then you need to pull back from that and take another look, broaden your spectrum of how you are looking at maps. Finally, let's not say finally because there are a couple more points I want to go over, but let's talk about friends, because platooning is fun. I mean, if nothing else, even if battles are going to haywire, whatever, you always have at least someone to talk with. So platooning is awesome, but don't screw your own chances and your team's chances by platooning wrong tires together. Don't bring a tier 2 into tier 7 battle. I understand mistakes are made, everyone makes a mistake here and there, that's fine, but learn how the matchmaker works. That will at least be more enjoyable for you and, well, everyone else playing. So let's move on to camouflage and spotting. This is where I see a lot of mistakes made. People don't understand these systems at all. Firstly, you will be shot at by invisible tanks. This is just the case of happening and there is no cheat on this. Okay, there might be a cheat, but it's not the typical situation. A lot of people understand how this work and a lot of people don't. So let's throw some noob stuff out. Very noob term thing. When you shoot, use become visible to everyone, you should pull back into a hard cover, which actually stops enemy shells coming in you. This is because when you shoot, every piece of camouflage, trees, bushes, whatever, their camo value drops to 30% of the original value. So as said, in noob terms, whenever you shoot, you become visible to everyone. If you don't want to look up and learn the mechanics, you might just as well think of it that way. Weak spots, same stuff. You need to look this up. As an example, the commander hatch, or rather the hatch on top of the turret on most tanks, it is a weak spot. From almost every direction you can penetrate that hatch by shooting at it. On almost every single tank. However, there is a lot of material, written and otherwise, out there to help you learn these mechanics, both camouflage, spotting and weak spots. All three of these things. And knowing them will help you in future battles, right? Because knowing is half the battle. And so I suggest spending 10 to 15 minutes of your time going over those things, and you will do much better in your future battles. Trust me on that. You don't have to spend 2 days poring over every little bit of information, but just the general concepts of how they actually work and where I should shoot at a certain tank. The same way goes if you are having trouble penetrating something, look it up after the battle. And let's move finally on and over to stats, because stats are meaningless. How many % hit you have and how many tanks you killed and how many times you won, all those things are completely meaningless. Simply because if you concentrate on improving your play, you identify what you're doing wrong and you start trying to fix it, your stats will follow. If you are suicide charging and you stop suicide charging, you suddenly die less and start probably winning more. And so your stats follow on your play. The better you play, the more you know leads to playing better, as in you probably winning more also, and then your stats will also follow that, right? I hope that was clear enough. Stats are meaningless because they are simply, as I said, to repeat myself, they follow you getting better. And that is pretty much it for this lesson, and I know it was a bit longer, but I wanted to really talk about some knowledge pieces, because knowledge is important and knowing is half the battle. Thank you very much for watching.